Hello, everyone. It's Peggy Hubbard here, 93.3 FM, getting ready for the show. Everyone get out there and vote. I'm getting reports. There was a situation, several situations that I'm going to make you aware of that I wrote about. One of the situations was there were several counties in Pennsylvania that were not allowing poll watchers, Republican poll watchers, to be present. And a call went out to the RNC. The RNC dispatched several attorneys to the locations of these counties that they were blocking poll watchers, election judges, from being present at the polls. And a call went out to the RNC, and the RNC sent out their attorneys, and in short order, they rectified that problem. And those poll watchers were able to gain access to the polling facilities in several counties. That happened. Then in Cabrera County, PA, the poll has been ordered to stay open till 10 p.m. because there is a problem with the tabulating machine there. And so the RNC got a court order injunction to stay open that poll in that area. And this is being reported in Cambria, PA. And they have been ordered to stay open till 10 p.m. due to the malfunction of the machines there. So they're staying open till 10 p.m. So people were not able to put their ballots into the tabulating machine. And one of the voters reached out to me and asked me what should they do, because they were telling them to leave their ballots and they'll make sure they get into the tabulating machine. Don't trust that. Your job is to get on the phone as a voter, call your voter official of your county, contact your state attorney, contact the RNC, and let them know of any voting irregularities that you may encounter. Somebody asked me in Illinois, I presented my ID up in Rockford, and they would not accept my ID. Illinois is not a voter ID state. Missouri is. Illinois is not. You don't have to present your ID when you vote in the state of Illinois. You don't have to. Illinois is not an ID voter state. Missouri is. Illinois is not. But as an election judge, I came across individuals. I had a guy who was drunk, and he thought he needed to present his his ID, his driver's license, to us in order to vote. And this happened a couple of years ago when I was an election judge. And what happened was, he reached in his wallet, his pocket, whatever he was reaching, he pulled out 3 IDs, and all 3 of these IDs have different addresses on it. And he was voting in these different locations, and I stopped his vote. I contacted the state attorney. I contacted the administrator, the voter official for St. Clair County, to let them know this guy was drunk, number one, and number two, he pulled out these IDs, and these IDs had all different addresses on them. And I questioned him, and the Democrat election judges did not want me to question him, but under our state constitution, I am required to ask questions if I suspect voter fraud. And he answered my questions, and he went and voted in other locations, and he had 3 different addresses. So that threw up a red flag, and we dealt with that. Folks, if you're in line to vote before 7 p.m., do not get out of line. Stay in line. If you are in line, say at 6:30 or even 5 minutes to 7, if you are in line, stay in line. If they're having problems with their machines, do not turn over your ballot. You hold on to that ballot. You contact your voter officials. You contact your election judge there on the premises and the poll watchers. If there is a machine malfunction, do not turn over your ballot. You hold that ballot until they rectify the problem. And this is what's happening in Cabrera, PA. This is what's happening. And the poll is going to stay open till 10 p.m. because of a machine malfunction. If you are in line before 7 p.m., it could be 5 minutes before 7. As long as you are in line, do not get out of line. You stay in line, you vote. If there is a machine malfunction, don't turn over that ballot. You hold on to that ballot. You contact your local Republican Party. You contact your state attorney. You contact the RNC. You contact somebody, but you better not turn over that ballot. And if they tell you, give us your ballot, we'll make sure it gets into the machine. Don't believe that. Don't do it. Do not do that. You hold on to that ballot. You do not turn over that ballot. That ballot is your ballot. That is your vote. You wait for them to rectify the problem, but do not trust them when they tell you, you give us your ballot and we'll make sure it gets counted. Don't turn over that ballot. You call the election officials of your county, contact the RNC, contact the state attorneys, but you do not turn over that ballot. Do not do it. Do not trust that. I don't care who tells you, leave your ballot, we'll make sure it gets counted. Don't you do it. You tell them, I want to talk to an election judge. I want to talk to a state official. I want to talk to a state attorney. I want to talk to an election official of my county. But do not leave your ballot when they tell you, oh, the machine is down. So if you give us your ballot, we'll make sure it gets counted. Don't do it. You contact your Republican Party. You contact your elected official. You contact the state attorney. You contact the RNC. But do not turn over your ballot. And in Cambria County, right now in Cambria, PA, I think this is a county, the polls are going to stay open till 10 p.m. because they had a so-called machine malfunction. So it's staying open till 10 p.m. It just got ruled by a judge that it is going to stay open till 10 p.m. But folks, get out there, vote, let your voices and your vote be heard. Right now, they're trying to cheat, and we know that they were going to try to cheat to turn away Republican officials, poll watchers. And I have to take my hat off to Mike Whatley, of the co-chair of the RNC. He got on it in short order. He sent out dispatched attorneys to deal with these counties in Pennsylvania, not allowing Republican poll watchers and election judges to be on site, barring them from coming in. That got dealt with, folks. We're not taking this crap anymore. It got dealt with. And thank God we have a Republican Party that is fighting back. And they are doing this across the country. Right here in Missouri, Jay Ashcroft and Andrew Bailey, the state attorney who's running for election, have informed the DOJ that they are not running the election sites in St. Louis or in Kansas City, that this is voter interference. And if they step on the property where they are doing these elections in St. Louis City and Kansas City, they're going to get dealt with. State Attorney Andrew Bailey he's not fooling around, folks. And I pray that he gets elected. He's running to have the position He was interim attorney general when Eric Schmidt became senator. So Andrew Bailey is running for that seat, and he's informed the DOJ that he's ready to go toe-to-toe with them if they try to interfere. The DOJ, the Biden administration, is trying to interfere with the election in St. Louis and Kansas City, the DOJ. And Andrew Bailey is not having it. And if you have not voted for Andrew Bailey, you need to do so, because he's standing toe-to-toe and shoulder-to-shoulder with Jay Ashcroft and telling the DOJ, not up in here. So folks, if you're having problems with your ballots, let your poll watchers know, let your election judges know that are on the site, ask to see the election official of your county, contact your state attorney's office, and if need be, contact the sheriff's department. If need be, you have that right, folks, as a voter. Do not turn over your ballot if they're telling you, hey, we're having difficulties with the ballots, we're having a problem, just leave your ballot and we'll put it in. Don't trust that. Demand to have the state attorney contact the RNC and let it be known that if you're having difficulties at the poll, you contact your elected official, you contact your election judge, you contact the RNC and the state attorney and let them know you're having problems. Let them know. And somebody asked me this question, Peggy, if I voted Democrat and now I want to vote Republican, and this happened in a last election, somebody wanted to come in and vote Republican and they were a Democrat, and this was in Illinois, and the election judge refused to give that person a Republican ballot. And under the constitutional law of Illinois, you cannot deny someone a Republican ballot or a Democrat ballot if they want to change parties. They have the right to change parties, and this is only in the primary. They can change parties. You cannot deny them a ballot if they want to change parties, and this was in a primary, and this actually did happen. And I was an election judge, and it was brought to my attention that the woman wanted to vote Republican. She did not want a Democrat ballot, and they were going to try to force her to vote Democrat, and they denied her a Republican ballot. And as an election judge, I told them that that's illegal. If she wants a Republican ballot, you have to give them a Republican ballot. They can switch party at any time. And they tried to stop her and force her to vote Democrat, even when she said she wanted a Republican ballot. And I went toe-to-toe with that election judge, who was a Democrat. So that did happen. But folks, if you're in line before 7 p.m., do not get out of line. Stay in line, cast your vote. If there is a problem with the tabulator machine and they say, give me your ballot and we'll put it in for you, no, don't do it. Do not turn over your ballot. You notify someone, you hold on to that ballot until they rectify the issue, but don't turn over that ballot, because you don't know what they're going to do with it. You don't know if they're going to destroy it. You don't know. So what you need to do is you contact your Republican official, you contact the state attorney, you contact whoever runs your so-called election commission in your county, you contact that office, contact the RNC, but do not turn over your ballot and do not trust them to post your ballot. Don't trust them. You wait for them to fix and rectify the situation, but do not walk away and give them your ballot to put into the machine, because you don't know where your vote is going to go. You don't know. And right now, what they're doing in Pennsylvania and Mike Whatley of the RNC is on top of it right now, that they had to deploy attorneys because they would not allow poll watchers to be present in the polling places, which is required by the constitutional law of that state. And Mike Whatley sent down some attorneys, and it got rectified fast, quick, and in a hurry. Folks, we're in the fight of our life in this country. Don't let your guard down. We got God on our side, and we're going to be victorious. So I have to get ready for my show. I'm wearing my Republican red today. 93.3 FM, Peggy Hubbard here, the voice of freedom. And I hope you guys tune into the show. And we are going to be broadcasting from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. on this station, 93.3 FM. You can go to X. You can go to Rumble. You can find us on Facebook. We're going to be broadcasting from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight. And it's going to be all of us, Dan and Drew in the morning crew. It's going to be Rob Carter. It's going to be myself, Ryan Height, and The Reckoning. Also, Holly is going to be here. Holly Jones is going to be here. And we're going to have some surprise guests. So we hope you guys tune in 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. tonight, 93.3 FM. If you can't get us on the radio, you can go to Real Talk 933.com, realtalk933.com. Tap the app, download the app. We're on Facebook, we're on Rumble, and we're on X. So you can watch the show in its entirety. I'm going to be coming on in about 30 minutes, my show On The Real with Peggy Hubbard. I hope you guys tune in. Folks, we are in the fight for our lives. If you're in line before 7 o'clock, do not get out of line. Cast your vote. If the machines if they have a problem with their machines, do not turn over your ballot because they say we're going to put your vote in. Don't trust it. You hold on to that ballot and you contact the authorities and let them know. Okay? That is my advice to you as a former election judge in all places, Illinois. And let me tell you, they didn't like me as an election judge in Illinois. They tried to have me banned as an election judge in Illinois because I kept catching the Democrats cheating. In East St. Louis, this was 2 years ago, I caught a man passing out $5 and 40 ounces of beer, and they were giving these drunks $5 and 40 ounces of beer, and they gave them these ballots, these sheets, and telling them who to vote for. And I caught them on camera doing it. I also had a guy that was standing 3 feet from the door passing out ballots telling people who to vote for. That was illegal. And I caught that guy, and he was a city official in Cahokia. Then I ran off a barbecue stand, a food truck, who was passing out barbecue, and in between the paper plates was $5, and it was telling them who to vote for, and they were giving out the barbecue for free. And they thought because I was being black that I was a Democrat. They gave me a free plate, and they told me my dessert was underneath, and I lifted it up, and it was $5 in a ballot. And I told him, you made a mistake because I'm a Republican and you're about to go to jail for election tampering, for interfering in an election. Let me tell you, he got in that front seat of that truck so fast and drove off, but I got his license plate and I turned it over to the state police for prosecution. And guess what happened with all of this that happened? I reported it to the St. Clair County Republican Party of Illinois. You know, they didn't do anything about it. They didn't do anything about it. I went down to the state attorney's office myself and stood myself and gave my story, gave my testimony, gave my evidence to the state attorney, and the Republican Party of St. Clair County and I notified them, they didn't even show up. I did it all by myself. I brought people to prosecution all by myself. And that is what an election judge's job is to do, is to secure the votes and make sure there is no tampering and no interference. I had a girl from East St. Louis that came into Cahokia 3 towns over to vote in Cahokia, and she lived in East St. Louis, and she already voted in East St. Louis. I caught that woman. I also caught a man who was a convicted felon, whose mom was in a wheelchair. She was nonverbal, and he said he had power of attorney to vote for his mom, which is illegal. And I found out that he was voting like that for years, and Cahokia was allowing him to do it, but not on my watch. And I stopped it, and I reported it to the state attorney, because power of attorney does not give you the authority to vote in an election. Does not. And Cahokia in East St. Louis was doing this. Also in East St. Louis, as an election judge, they said my aunt voted via mail, and my Aunt Kay has never voted via mail. Never voted. Never had a mail-in ballot. Never voted. She always voted in person. I go down there. I pull her card. I look at the card, and it's not even her signature. Not even close to her signature. So somebody cast a ballot for my aunt, and it wasn't even her signature, and it was a mail-in ballot. Come to find out, there were 100 mail-in ballots signed by the same person, and my aunt just happens to be one of those people, and we caught that, and we tossed those. All of those got thrown out. I take the job as an election judge very seriously, and that's what we need. We need people that are serious about protecting our vote. Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, Independent, Tea Partier, we need serious people to make sure that our votes are fair and our votes are counted. But folks, I'm telling you, the Democrats are going to try to cheat. They're going to try to cheat. They're going to try to cheat. I got to get ready for the show. I hope you guys tune in. I should be coming on in about 35 minutes. 93.3 FM, the voice of freedom. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Pray for our nation. Pray for victory. Pray for President Trump. Pray for J.D. Vance. Pray for our nation. I love you guys very much. Take care. God bless. And let's hope for a victory tonight. Take care.